Hi everyone. So we're going to talk this week a lot about modal music. So in modal music, it's the idea maybe we take a mode. So that was Mixolydian, just for example, and we're going to use that as home base. So uh, when we talk about modes, in the past, we've always done it through the context of chord scales. Now we need to look a little bit more carefully at each mode, and we need to ask ourselves what mode makes it unique. I'm sorry, what makes it unique? So I'm going to divide the modes we've talked about the most into three groups: the major family, the minor family, and then we're going to have one odd one. And in the major and minor family, I think of sort of the home base, the parent modes, as being the major scale or the Ionian mode, and the Aeolian mode. That's kind of the home base minor scale. So we've got C Ionian and C Aeolian as home base. In the major and minor families, then there are also brighter sides and darker sides. And maybe you even remember that in the first part of the semester, we even talked about this just a little bit. So, for example, there's a major mode that's a little bit brighter than major, or than Ionian, and that is Lydian. And then there's a darker major mode that's darker than Ionian, and that is Mixolydian. On the minor side, we have a similar set of circumstances. Our home base is Aeolian, and the brighter minor key mode is Dorian. So here's Aeolian, and here is C Dorian. The darker minor key mode is Phrygian. So what makes it darker is flat 2. So here's Aeolian, and here is Phrygian. So when we talk about modes, one of the useful things to think about is what we call the characteristic pitch. Characteristic pitch. The characteristic pitch is the note in the mode that makes it unique. So the characteristic pitch of Lydian is sharp 4. The character pitch of Mixolydian is flat 7. The characteristic pitch of Dorian is 6. And the characteristic pitch of Phrygian is flat 2. Oop, not flat 3, flat 2. So, as we look at these modes more closely, we're going to use these unique notes to create melodies and harmonies that embrace the unique nature of each of these modes. Now, there is one more diatonic mode, and that's Locrian. So here's Locrian. Come on. Now, Locrian is an extremely unique scale. Its characteristic pitch is flat 5, and we don't tend to use the Locrian mode for much modal music because it's too unstable. The tritone from 1 to flat 5 creates too much instability. So we're going to look at each of these modes as a possible source for like 1 or the 1 chord. And with each of these modes, we're going to use the characteristic pitch to create sounds that are unique to that mode. By the way, Ionian and Aeolian have characteristic pitches as well. In Aeolian, the characteristic pitch is flat 6, and in Ionian, the characteristic pitch is 4. Maybe you've noticed this already, maybe you haven't. It's okay if you haven't. The characteristic pitch is always unstable and resolves by step. Okay, cool. Thank you for this introduction. I'm looking forward to digging into these ideas more in depth with you in a live class. All right, thanks. Bye.